Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now this is an awful lot of laburnum. Laburnum, I'm sure you'll remember from a couple of weeks ago, we turned a nice little laburnum bowl. So it's a very, very beautiful wood. And now we've got an awful lot more of it. But in order for us to be able to use this, we have to process it carefully. The wood is very, very wet. So we've got to cut it into suitable pieces, seal it, and then store it. If we've time at the end, then we'll part turn a bowl as well. So we'll start with this piece, we'll go over to the bandsaw and get started. Okay, this is the items that we're going to process first. They're all between 2 and 4 inches wide. Some have more character than others, but we're going to generally cut them down about between 8 and 10 inch lengths and then seal the ends. These will be used for decorative items, Christmas trees, tea light holders, twig pots, things like that. So we'll make a start with this one. Before I do start, I must say that because laburnum is a bit of a dangerous wood, I am going to be wearing an air-fed mask throughout just to keep myself safe. Okay, before we do start, I do need to point out that it is very unsafe to try and put round things through a bandsaw in that orientation. It's okay that way, but this way there's a very good chance of the blades catching on it and spinning it and tearing out your hands. So to get over that, I've quickly made up this little sledge where we can place the bits of wood on it, hold it nice and securely, and then feed it through that way. I'll just start off by trimming the end. And that's our first piece is cut. Okay, that's the first lot sorted. So the next two pieces we've got are a bit more interesting. This one, obviously a crotch piece, so this could potentially make a nice vase at the top there. So this one we're going to cut off about here. Width of the trunk is about 4 inches, 5 inches maybe at the wider points. So small vases, wood vases, maybe even small bowls. So I think this one I'm going to save for small vases, so I'm going to cut this one off here to get some nice figure from that top area, and then halfway along to get two pieces that we can either turn into vases or something like that. Okay, right, this next piece is a bit of a beast. Very, very heavy, probably about 15-20 kilo. But at the top, we've got a very nice crotch piece area. So again, we're going to treat that as a potential vase for the future and cut it off around there. And then the trunk, it's about 5 to 6 inches across. So I'm going to cut it into 5 to 6 inch pieces, and we can turn those into smaller bowls. Okay, before I cut this up for bowls, I'm just going to measure the width, which is 5.5 inches. I'm going to put a mark on here just over 5.5 inches to let me know where I'm going to be cutting. That way I know I'm getting pieces that can be either split in half and make two nice round bowls, or I can use it as one nice hollow form without wasting any wood. Okay, this next piece is a bit of a monster, but we do have a beautiful crotch at this end, which I'd really like to try and feature in a bowl. The other problem we've got is at this end, we have an awful lot of rot on this side. Now, the money piece, as it were, the piece with the most interest is definitely at this end. So first of all, we'll cut this off in an appropriate manner. So it's about 9 to 10 inches wide. So that is where we're going to cut it through. When it's cut through, we'll investigate the centre just to see if this rot, well, we need to know how far this has come up. Right, now my sledge isn't big enough to have with this piece on it. It would just collapse. It's not very well built. So I'm going to put it on its flattest side. See, that's not rocking. And I'm going to feed it through very, very slowly. The bandsaw handled that very, very nicely. So let's have a look at. Oh, don't fall off. So let's have a look inside. Okay. Right, you can see how far that rot has progressed. It's still savable, thank goodness, on this one. So we're going to be okay here. This one I'm not so sure, because it's going to get worse and worse and worse as it goes through. Before we cut that final piece, I think I'll split this one in half and just see what the extent of this rot is inside. We can still save it. It could be used for a resin project or something like that. So I'm going to go through on its flattest side to make life easier. We'll try and cut directly through the pith. So you can see the extent of the rot going through. I think we'll leave these as they are. We'll still seal them, and we'll figure out what to do with them a little bit later on. There could be savable wood on the side, or we could use it as a resin project. There's plenty of things that you can still do with it. It's not going to get wasted. Okay, so now we've got the crotch piece that we're going to split in half as well. We could leave it as it is and do a hollow form with it or something like that, but it would take quite a few years to dry. So I think we are going to split it. Now, the question now is, which way do we split it? Do we split it this way, or should we split it this way? Now, unfortunately, the wood kind of twists. This is obviously its widest area here, but on the base, the widest area is here, so it's kind of like twisted. So we have to take that into consideration. We also have to take into consideration what would look best. And I've got a feeling if we go through the centre here, that will give us the most amount of options when we come to turn this piece. So, get the pen out. I'm gonna have to, there's no real flat spot. There's a little bit of a flat spot there to help me push it through. But like that. And across there. Right. That's the plan. Okay, that's really interesting. You can see how the pith separates into the three limbs and how the rot is trying to follow it. There's a bit of sapwood there as well. It really is quite interesting. This is going to make for an exceptional bowl one day. It really is. Same with this one. Make a fantastic pair of matching bowls, I think. Right, okay, that's all the wood processed. So I need to start thinking about getting these sealed, and perhaps I think we should turn one as well. Okay, so this is one of the smaller pieces we cut up for bowls. I'm going to cut this in half, and I think what I might actually do is turn a full bowl for it. I'm not going to part turn it, I'm going to turn a full bowl, and we'll just let it dry and see what happens. It may distort, it may warp, it may crack, but we'll have fun watching it anyway. Okay, roll on as usual, nice and safe, tailstock support. Turning initially at 900 RPM. We're just going to start working up the sides, get the bowl shape, and then we can create a foot. This isn't going to take very long. Okay, we'll just take a quick look to see where we are. Right, we've nearly got rid of the sapwood, which is good. This wood is looking beautiful. It is absolutely sopping wet. Can't believe how wet this is, but it's looking all right. Now I'm going to create a tenon on this, which is also going to act as the foot. This is kind of like a little fun experiment. I'll take photographs of it periodically and put it on the YouTube channel, so you can have a look and see what's happening to it as it dries. Good. Right, let's turn this around. Okay, we're all turned around. I'm not going to bother putting the tailstock back in because by the time I've done a couple of cuts, it would have to come away anyway. Key thing here is to make sure that we take this pith area out. So we're going to have to go down a little bit and then we'll hollow out. Right, you can see, let's get this out of here. Okay, so there you go. as you can see, it's starting to dry already. I mean, the outside, all those bits there, it's only the end grain that's hasn't really lost much moisture. So we'll keep on taking photographs of this, see how it progresses. But for now, we better go and start sealing some wood. Okay, let's start sealing. Now, there's many ways that you can seal wood, and there's many things that you can use. On this occasion, I'm just going to use a normal wood glue. This is as cheap a wood glue as you can pretty much get, and all it's going to do is just seal the surface of the end grain to stop moisture escaping. You can apply this with anything you want, your finger even, if you're so inclined. It's just acting as a barrier to stop moisture leaving the wood too quickly. If it leaves too quickly, it's going to crack. Other things you can use are paint, varnish. You can even use plastic wrap, you know, that kind of stuff you use to wrap your sandwiches in, or food. Anything at all, just to slow the moisture leaving. I'm going to try not to get too much wood glue on my bench. Actually, I'll just put something underneath here. Any large boxes I get, I always cut up, and they make great little work mats for times like this, especially resin. Okay, that's the first one done. I'm just going to sit these on these two sticks I've put out to allow it to dry without getting stuck to anything. I shall layer these up as I go. Now this is going to take a while, so I'll put everything in fast forward and probably skip a few sections as well, and I'll bring you back when I've done. Oh, quick apology by the way. When I was filming making that small bowl, for some reason my main camera was in slow motion mode, and that only records at a level way lower than HD, full HD, so I apologise if the grainy images that you may have seen put you off that little display in any way. Now, one more thing. Now, because this tree was felled in the summer months, in August to be exact, there is a very good chance that the bark will come loose. You'll often find that trees felled during the winter will hold their bark an awful lot better than those in the summer, mainly because of the amount of moisture and shrinkage that you'll get during the drying process. This is one of the pieces I am most looking forward to finishing off. Okay, you pretty much get the idea. I'll bring you back when we're all done. So there we go. 33 pieces of processed laburnum, all ready to start their drying process. I really like using wood glue for this. It dries clear, so it gives us a good indication of what's happening underneath. If I'd used paint or something like that, it would hide it all, so you can't really see exactly what's going on. Also, because I use the raw photographs from my thumbnails for my videos, it doesn't look particularly good if it's got a bit of white gloss on there in the picture. In terms of what we've managed to do, we've taken some scrap wood, which would normally have been destined for landfill, because you can't burn laburnum because it's very dangerous, and it also smells apparently absolutely awful. So we've saved it from landfill, Each piece will get finished into something nice. We've also hopefully made some money. In terms of value, in its current state, you're probably looking at about £100. When it's dry, probably upwards of £200 to £300, and when it's finished, I don't know, maybe somewhere around 700. So from scrap, we haven't done too badly. It's also been quite fun as well. That's the main thing. Pieces I'm most looking forward to are the crotch vases and the large crotch bowls. They're going to be the ones I would imagine will be featured on the channel. A lot of the smaller pieces are going to be turned into twig pots or Christmas trees, depending how I feel at the time. Many of the pieces are going to be hollow forms and bowls and vases and many other things. Anyway, there you go. Oh, also, mustn't forget, I have a little drying experiment. It's doing okay so far. Still a fair amount of moisture in it. We do have one, where is that? Sorry, one small hairline crack there. But as I say, I'll keep on putting pictures on the YouTube channel and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, there we are. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have, I would really appreciate a like and subscribe and all the usual things. And if you leave a comment as well, then you're going to be entered into the giveaway the next time we do one. But apart from that, thank you very much indeed for watching. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you.